So you started up a business abroad in Pakistan, and you did co-working spaces.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that for a bit.
Oh yeah, no, loved it. Probably the most fun I've ever had, except for the first year. That was horrible.
The graft.
Yeah. So I was literally living in the office. So that's
This sounds like such an Elon Musk story.
No, honestly, it was crazy, right? This is how I met my missus also. So
Shout out to her.
I know, need to get someone here. But best UI designer going.
Yo, she does good work.
Not even biased.
No one's being biased at all. No. She works for a major company, man.
She does.
I do keep trying to convince her to go on a podcast, but she says no.
Oh, I know. So I'm trying.
Go on.
Yeah. So we basically, it was a co-working space. We had this first one. I mean, if you could put a picture up on anywhere.
Send it me.
Yeah. So it was, for lack of a better word, ugly. It was a proof of concept, if I want to make it sound nicer.
But beauty is within, you know.
With eye of the beholder and all that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we made it all out of concrete, right? All the furniture, because I had no money. And yeah, it's like
that was rough.
And I had $5,000 to like stretch, and I had to make it stretch. So yeah, basically set up a co-working space, made all the furniture out of concrete, everything. And basically my whole aim was, if I can make this proof of concept work financially, right, and make the model work, I can basically not franchise it, but essentially sell the idea to investors.
Venture capitalists.
Well, at that time, it was just private investors.
Okay.
We sold to a venture capitalist eventually. But yeah, so, it worked. It worked. I mean, I didn't think it was going to work, honestly, right? So at first, we ended up expanding to another location. We took 3 floors, right? Like seriously, the guy never saw my office, right? He just, honest, it's a proud moment, right? So the guy literally just spoke with me. We had a meeting. We had a mutual connection, which definitely did help. And we expanded, we took 3 floors of this one building. It was gorgeous, right? And then when I was like, I can't get better than this. And then a friend of his was like, you know what? Okay, let's take you on. Right. So he then basically demolished my current office, my concrete office, because somehow I actually managed to make that concrete office profitable, which is crazy. I don't think I could ever do that again. Right. It was proper startup vibes. Right. I'm doing all the roles. Right. I'm HR. I'm the clean. I was actually the cleaner for a long time.
Did you ever tell anyone, hold for the next person? Did you ever do that?
Yeah. No, like on social media, if somebody would message, right, I would always say things like, we.
Who's we?
It's literally just me.
You look in the mirror like me, myself, and I.
Exactly.
3 people.
I'm not joking. I was managing 2 branches. I was like traveling across the city, right? Managing 2 branches, and all I had was 2 cleaners, right? And I had to do the sales on both of them. Eventually, I had a friend of mine who was like amazing with sales to manage one of the branches, and it was great. And then from there, everything just like blew up. We ended up. So the concrete office, we demolished it all. We rebuilt it. We took over the office next door. We had I think 6,000 square feet.
How does someone get the money for a startup? How do you get investors? How do you convince someone to, if you don't have the money yourself, how do you convince someone to fund you the first 10, 20 grand?
So the first question is your idea viable, right? And how do you show okay, if I don't have the money to even make a proof of concept, because it is always important to do a proof of concept, right? Because, I mean, that's what people are buying, really, right?
But if you were selling this podcast as an idea, as something to get investors for, how would you sell it and who would you go to?
Well, okay, so you will show, okay, look, with no money, I've had X amount of reach, right? With no money, I've done these things. Imagine what I could scale it with money, right? And this is where your money would go. This is what we should be looking at in return. And what is a monetization of it all? At the end of the day, I mean, the investor, as much as they might care about your vision and all this stuff and what you want to do for society.
About the return.
Yeah. And that's basically what I showed, because because I managed to show that I could make this like shithole, right? I mean, I loved it, but nobody else did.
Well, they loved it eventually. Or
Yeah,
they loved it enough.
exactly. Like people, like I know fairness, the clientele that I was getting at that time was like the most broke client, right? People, right, who had just started. And in all fairness, they needed a place to work.
Yeah, so
So
they
there
weren't
was a
going to complain.
clientele.
You weren't going to complain.
Yeah, exactly. And in all fairness, the first like 10 clients we had, it was almost like a family, right? We all met each other regularly. We would play cards. It was great. The truth is, we had a proof of concept and it worked, right? Did it make a lot of money? No. But the idea was, if you gave me money, this is how I can grow it. And that's essentially what I did. And everyone knew I want to sell this company at some point. And they were in for the ride and they had to trust me. There is a bit of element of blind trust. You have to be convincing. I'm sorry, but like, see, there's one thing that people hate, a term that people hate, which is, oh, I'm a salesperson, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at it, every job title will change the word salesperson, the name, the job title salesperson. They'll make us think I was like marketing executive, right? But at the end of the day, you're a salesperson. Are you a lawyer? You're a salesperson. That's what you're doing, right? Everyone has to be a salesperson. You have to sell your thing. And if you're not willing to learn that skill, I'm sorry, but you ain't gonna get anywhere. No one's.
But
gonna
the best
pay you
way to
nothing.
sell something is to have something worth buying.
No.
No?
Theranos.
What? Say that again.
Theranos.
What does that mean?
Well, do you know that Elizabeth Holmes, the woman who was like selling like this thing? All right, okay. So
No, go on, explain it.
Okay, so there was this woman who, Elizabeth Holmes. There's a cool Disney show on it.
Okay.
Yeah, and she was basically selling this machine that apparently from one like prick, it could test you for all these illnesses, right?
Oh,
yeah. And anyway, the machine never really existed.
She was like an absolute charlatan.
Yeah, she's in jail now. So.
Oh, good.
Yeah, exactly.
What a snake oil salesman.
But she made money, and they all did actually. And to be honest,
so they were selling something
that didn't exist
because they were putting it on as like, was it a brochure? Was it pictures?
Oh no, she was doing the rounds on talk shows and like Mad Money. He was there like, yeah, there's a company to invest in, because basically she could sell, right? At the end.
Okay, so clearly that doesn't work if you end up in prison.
Yeah, no, I mean, at the end of the day, her financials didn't, she wasn't selling a real product, but the point is she could sell, right?
100%.
She could sell nothing. And that's the thing.
I mean, I think that's what people do when they sell air. Have you seen that you can buy air now?
Nah.
You can buy air. I promise you, Google it. Adeel, you can buy air.
Yeah.
And it's a legitimate thing now. And they especially sell it in places that are really bad polluted. So many places in China. Just type in buying air. I used to make this joke all the time. I was like, I'm going to start a business where I sell air. Nothing could be more free. It's more free than water.
You're not joking. Oh my God.
Yeah, and talk about it. It's a big, big business. Like
£65 for a bottle of fresh air from UK Beach. £99 for a jar of fresh air from West Yorkshire.
Serious question, right? What is stopping me and you from going down to Fromby Beach down in Liverpool and packing some air and packaging and selling it?
Nothing. I mean, so give it a week and you can start buying Laszlo's air.